Today I was watching the Kanye West documentary, and I actually have a little bit of Kanye playing in the back, but I realized, man, you gotta want this shit, man. You gotta want whatever it is that you're chasing. I say that why? Because I realize, you gotta you gotta have a fire and you gotta just have this like fire burning under your ass, and you gotta have this like absolute devotion to whatever your craft is. I realized today at work, you know at my internship, that hey, because I do cold calls, basically I do sales, and I mean, it's not bad. I just don't want to do it for the rest of my life, to be completely fair. That's fine, whatever. Like, nothing bad about that. It's a bit more, traditional. I don't like traditional. Not one bit. That's why I'm putting my heart and soul in this. So that every day I'm over here, doing my thing. Anyhow, I realized today, as much as you try and try and try, you can't achieve what you want unless you're really, I'd say, not even devoted, just focused. But in a sense, not necessarily focused, but more than anything, you really gotta be dialed in. Like, as in, you gotta be ready to, let's say, answer, you know because for whatever reason. Ooh, hot sauce. Sorry guys, I haven't eaten. My food's like sitting right there. I'm also doing this to motivate me, because my food's right there. And as you know, dieting at the moment. We got the food over here. We got a bit of potatoes. We got a bit of salad from yesterday. We got these two quesadillas with chicken and stuff inside. I cannot wait. As I was saying, you gotta want it, you gotta love it, and most especially, you gotta have fun doing it, because if you're not having fun doing it, then what's the point, first of all? Second of all, I mean, what are we really doing if we're not enjoying the time that we're, spending doing whatever it is that we're doing? I'd say 9 times out of 10, you end up, 10 years down the line, you're working this bullshit job that you fucking hated to begin with. And then, there's always a plan A. Most of the times that doesn't go through, I'm trying to make it go through. But that's the thing, my plan A has changed so many fucking times. Before I wanted to do fashion design, and then I realized, no, actually, I don't want to do fashion design. Why did I realize that? I feel like right now, 3 years ago, if I had not listened to my art teacher, and if my art teacher didn't tell me, oh yeah, Lorenzo, you're shit anyway, you'll never get in, or not even you'll never get in, if she didn't tell me, yeah, if she supported me even a little bit and didn't shatter my ego completely, my confidence in myself, I mean, it would have been nice, to go into fashion school and be like, yeah, no, I got this shit by the balls, because I did have that talent, at the time. And then I left it, and I was like, fuck it, man, I'll do business. Not that I hate business, I like it. It's just, I would have had fun doing fashion, I feel. But then again, everything works out in a different way for the better most of the times. Looking back, I probably missed out on hardcore drugs and being really skinny and having older homosexual men hit on me. Not that that's bad, but like more than anything, them hitting on me and then throwing themselves at me because they just think they can do that because they have a position of power, especially in, you know, the fashion industry. So, I mean, you know, on one hand, yeah, I missed out on doing what I really liked. On the other, I didn't have, you know, all the bad shit with it as well because there's so much bad shit. But, you know, whatever. Not the point here. The point I'm trying to make is do something you love, do it willingly, and if you're really down to do it, give it your best. No matter what, you know, do not give up on that, whatever it is that you're doing. Simply because the second you start, you know, letting off the gas a little bit, boom. You know, you start getting comfortable. You start saying, oh yeah, but that shit's so hard. Ooh. Oh, but yeah, no, but that's so hard. Ooh. I really do enjoy my wagey job. You know, wagey goy. I really do enjoy working for my wage. Ooh. I really enjoy doing this bullshit thing. No, you don't. You don't enjoy getting a salary. Sure, it's stable until they fire you because AI is gonna, you know, go in, crawl up into your ass, right? Or the company's ass, and then expand from inward. And then, you know, booms your company. There's your company, there's your job, there's your salary. You know? And then what? You know, the only I would say thing that you could, you know, lock the fuck in on, if that is really just your passion, a trade of any sort, you know. I mean, I don't know. I've always been drawn to plumbing because that was what my grandfather was for his entire life, basically. I don't know. I found it interesting. You know, he would always talk about it. He'd be like, yeah, you know these pipes, they connect in certain ways, and I was like, yeah, sure, Grandpa, sure. I mean, that's great and all. Yeah, that awesome. You know, like I am, yes. Tell me more, and then, you know, went through in one year, out the other. Sorry, but you know, looking back, I would love to know. Like many times, you just really give for granted all the wisdom that your, you know, elders have, and in a way that is, you know, pretty sad. But on the other hand, if you think about it, it is pretty gorgeous to look at, and not in any way, I mean, where, yeah, it's not nice to, or it is nice to not listen to what your people have to say, but I mean, in a way, it's nice to think about it, think back about it, and be like, hey, yeah, that was cool. Let me do my own research, linking back to what they said in a bubble, let's say. But anyway, not the point here. My initial point was, you know, you really gotta chase what it is you're after. Because if you don't chase it hard enough, it'll run away faster than you ever could. I'd say most of the time, this is because you're not trying hard enough. And, you know, I noticed this in my internship, going back to that. You know, my boss is telling me, yo, you really gotta want to sell them this thing, you know? And like, you really gotta have this energy. And I was like, it's not that I don't believe in whatever, you know, solution I'm, you know, pitching to these people. It's more how, you know, in a way, I don't believe really in the process because, I mean, I go out of my way. I go out of my way already. But not really, like, whatever. I'm insignificant in this scenario. Here's you, right, working your wagey job, high position wagey job, but still wagey job, right? I'm here, right? A little bit lower because I mean, obviously, you know, as a salesman, you're worth shit. Uh, you call this guy, I call you. I say, hey buddy, you got 5 minutes? You tell me, fuck you, no, you just disturbed me. What do you want? I say, yeah, no, so we have this. We provide ABC. Interested? Let me think about it. Send me an email. No, don't send me an email. I want to have meeting with you. Send me email anyway. I don't IDGAF. See what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm coping because I'm not a good enough salesman. I just don't think that for a product like this is the best approach. Sorry. I think if you were to go there to the place and be like, hey, observe what we have, right? It's just a lot more like, yeah, okay, cool. It gets people interested as soon as they see it, not after you send them an email or you tell them a bit about it. Because I mean, through words, how much really can you get through? Obviously, you can tell them, hey, yeah, you have challenges A, B, C, D. We solve all of that. Why do you have to lie? You know, like, fine, it's a bluff, but like, realistically, you only cover A and B. C and D are like optional, but that's whatever, you know, fuck. I don't know, to me, it's an experience, lovely experience, don't get me wrong. I just don't see myself doing this for the rest of my life, to be completely honest with you. I do want to help, on the other hand, you know, young men and women, and ladies, you know, ladies, if they want, to get better, you know, because, you know, it's my first time living here too. But since I have a bit more, you know, let's say right now I got 5 years on the current 16-year-old. Looking back, me at 16, I would have loved to have me as an older brother. You know, I don't know. Having me as an older brother right now would have been awesome because in the past 5 years, I've achieved a lot in terms of physique, in terms of, you know, dedication. There's been drastic changes within my life, and, you know, I'm very happy of the way I handled it in a way. Although, in some ways, if I'm being a bit more critical, I could have handled it better. And that's fine, you know, it's all part of life. It's just, if I really wanted to, you know, do it the best way, looking back, I could probably, you know, give awesome advice. For example, you know, when it comes to your self-confidence, don't let anyone say shit, or your self-worth, don't let them knock you down because you got some kind of sort of, how do I even say this? How do I even phrase this? Complex that you don't deserve shit, you know? I mean, sometimes, you know, that's normal because you yourself feel, okay, no, I didn't work hard enough. I should work harder next time. But, you know, there's a limit to next time. There's a limit to what you can do. So, I mean, you just gotta learn to put that bar, to gauge where that bar is. And, you know, that's fine. The thing is, I still don't know where the bar is, but I'm getting closer. And I feel like me having known that maybe 5-6 years ago would have been a lot better. Probably missed out on a lot more, you know, canon events, let's say. That's fine, you know. At the end of the day, the experiences we have are really what shape us as people, and then getting through whatever challenges we did have is, you know, what shapes us even more, because it's either you get over the hurdle or you break through it. Point is, you went past it. It's just the way you did it was a little more brutal than the other, depending on how you did it. I mean, hey, there's one way and then there's the alternative, and then the alternative is not always the best way, but if it works, it works, I guess. It's all up to you. But that's not what I was talking about at the beginning, right? At the beginning, I was talking about, you know, you really gotta... Sorry. Yeah, no, today I was watching the Kanye documentary. And, you know, it's really shocking to me how this man just was always so confident, so dedicated. And I strive to be like that, you know? I mean, I hope I portray the same thing that he always portrayed, you know, this intense sense of, you know, self-worth and self-confidence that he's just so sure that he's gonna fucking make it, you know? And shit, I'm sure I'm gonna make it. It's just sometimes there's that, you know? There's that inkling of doubt, which I'm sure he had as well. It's just that he always had someone to pat him on the back and be like, no, Kanye, don't worry about it, man. His mother. My mother's like that too. I just don't see her on a day-to-day basis. I'm sure he didn't either. I know she believes in me. My girl believes in me. And you know, happy days. Yeah, that's all I need, really. I need belief from my family. Mainly my father, my mother, my brother. My brother is 8. I mean, he's not gonna... He'll just be like, hey, bro. And then I'll go on about my day. But, you know, it's nice having the support, you know? I mean, they don't even know about this, which is crazy. None of them know about this. This is... one of my best friends knows about this, and that's it. Which is crazy, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Anyway, I was watching this Kanye documentary and I was just like, wow, this guy is really something, you know? I mean, not only is he one of my favorite artists, he is jack of all trades, achieved everything he wanted because he put his mind to it, you know? I mean, that's the part that baffles me, you know? But it doesn't at the same time, because I know that I am fully capable of doing so. And so are you. You just gotta want it hard enough. You know, you just gotta do what it is hard enough. You gotta be prepared to fail a million times before you get to that, you know, outcome that you want. This man, right, Kanye West, got like rejected by so many labels and shit when he went to New York. I felt the same way in a way. I'd say this is a good chance to make a jiu-jitsu reference. I'd say, let's try that. So, not everyone may do the sport. If you don't, I'd recommend you give it a try. Anyway, in jiu-jitsu, you know, at the start, you just get shot on by everyone. It doesn't matter, big, small, experienced, less experienced, doesn't matter. They still shit on you. It does not matter if, you know, doesn't matter if you're big or small. Regardless, you get shot on. But anyway, you gotta be... You still gotta show up and do it. And for me, I guess it helped a lot that I had a friend with me. Because he already did martial arts. He was like, yeah, man, it's always like this at the start. And I was like, I know it's always like this. I just never experienced this because, you know, going to the gym, always being a little more athletic. Obviously not at the start, but then after, when I lost some weight and I was skinny, I mean, I was doing push-ups Because during COVID, I mean, I had no choice. I was just doing push-ups. I had, you know, rounder shoulders. But that's not the point. My main point was, I always felt a little more comfortable in the gym than anywhere else, really, when it came to doing something hard. I guess because, I mean, I don't know, I always felt good. I always felt like, yeah, I mean, I'm going here. I'm working. Out of all of my friends, I was probably the most experienced gym wise, and you know what? It showed a little. It's just, I had that like inkling of confidence at the time, and then, you know, I always kept on progressing. It's just that once you enter in a completely new environment where you are not the, you know, boss of that domain, you're like, shit. I'm not worth anything here, really. And it's just a little shocking, it's a little eye-opening, and more than anything, it's humbling. It's a very humbling experience, but that's the thing. Kanye West is probably one of the most humble men ever. If you think about it, you know, like, yes, fine. Having self-belief is not being egotistical. What's being egotistical is not accepting defeat. But like, in an arrogant way. Or better yet, not accepting defeat, but not accepting that it's something, you know, that just happens. Like, you always gotta blame something else. You can never look within, you know, like, oh shit, you know, whatever. Maybe I went there at the wrong time. Maybe I did this wrong. Maybe I did that wrong. Let's work on that. And next time we'll try again. You know, we'll have a different approach. We'll do this different. We'll do that different. I feel like, you know, having failed so many times, you gotta have a little bit of arrogance in you to keep on trying. And I mean, I think that's what's most beautiful about, you know, anyone with dedication, that they just keep on pushing. No matter what, they keep on pushing. Because no matter what, like, you got a brick wall in front of you. No matter what, this man's gonna push. Why? Because he knows what's behind it, and he knows that if he pushes hard enough and for long enough, he will eventually get through. And I find that so beautiful. So keep on pushing on that wall. Keep on fucking slamming it. Keep on working on whatever it is you're working. Have a blessed day.